Maybe you found yourself in a position like the disciples were in the Garden of Gethsemane. You need to pray, but you're so give out and tired that you can't stay awake. That's what happened to them. Jesus said, "Sit ye here while I shall pray." And then he came back, and it says in verse 37 of Mark 14, "And he cometh and findeth them sleeping, and saith unto Peter, Simon, sleepest thou? Couldst not thou watch 1 hour?" Jesus uses the word here, speaking of prayer, that you would talk about setting a guard or a night watchman while the rest of the group slept. Someone would stay awake and make sure an enemy didn't sneak up on you in the night. And that's an apt image. We've got to always remember that we are at war and we're in this spiritual battle, and prayer is a huge part of this battle. And it's necessary for us to spend time with the Lord, receiving instruction, being strengthened in the inner man, growing closer to the Lord. And he says, "Watch ye and pray, lest ye enter into temptation." I don't think they realized just how dangerous a situation was coming upon them and the temptation that was about to be laid before them. But Jesus knew, he knew what was coming, and he's trying to prepare them for that. One of the great weapons that you and I have in this battle against temptation is prayer. To be strengthened in the inner man. And so we need to do things, put ourselves in a position where we can feed our spirit. We take good care of the flesh most of the time. We feed it. And the flesh and the spirit they're at war with each other. The flesh wants what it wants. But our spirit wants to serve Jesus. It wants to do what he wants for us to do. And so we find this battle within us. And that night, the flesh wanted to sleep. Jesus says, the spirit truly is ready. The spirit's ready to pray, ready to spend time with the Lord, ready to defeat the temptation that they're going to face. But the flesh is weak. That's never going to change. As long as we live in this body, as long as Jesus tarries or we're still alive here on this earth, we're going to face this kind of situation. The spirit is ready, the flesh is weak. And so I just want to encourage you today as we observe this taking place in the disciples' life, we can learn from this. We can learn how important an hour of prayer is, how important setting a watch is, how important making time to feed our spirit is. We're constantly bombarded by the enemy, and we constantly face temptation, and we need the strength that comes from the inner man, the new life of Christ within us. But the Bible tells us that we can grieve God's Spirit. We do that by sinning. We do that with bitterness and unforgiveness in our hearts. The Bible tells us that we can quench God's Spirit in our life. And so if we feed the flesh, we're going to see the flesh just run rampant in our life. But if we will feed our spirit, if we will spend time in the Word of God, spend time in prayer, set a watch and spend that time talking to the Lord, being strengthened by Him, being encouraged by Him, being reminded by Him of what's truly important, then we'll be prepared to face the spiritual enemy that we face on a daily basis. So I just want to encourage you. Let's learn from the disciples. We're like them in so many ways. The spirit is truly ready, but our flesh is so weak, and we need to feed our spirit on the Word of God and with time with Jesus. God bless you. Have a great day.